What's going on, guys? Running it back with another replay. Greenskins versus Wood Elves. And a pretty heavy metal showdown going to be coming in here. We've got a very interesting Lord pick for the Wood Elves. We've got Orion on the field. And then for the Greenskins, we've got a Black Orc Big Boss running around with Gorbat Ironclaw. And an Arachnarok Flinger going to be out here on the field. You know, typically big SEs don't do all that well against the Wood Elves, but the Arachnarok Flinger does have the artillery piece on the back, and 400 range is pretty significant. Definitely going to be able to sit back here and value trade in the early going against the very dangerous elf units. Hagbane Tip Glade Riders doing a ridiculous amount of damage to these poor Goblin Wolf Raiders, so you get pushed off immediately, probably going to have a hard time rallying here, and Morgrim's Mangy Marauders also taking quite a bit of bow fire, taking a little bit of poke there. Nice little lead for the Wood Elves so far. Arachnarok Flinger shot coming in, going to be actually hitting through the trees. Thought it was going to get blocked up a little bit, but hits the Glade Guard. You can see how much damage it does if it actually lands square on missile units. Very nice punish so far on some of those skirmish pieces for the Wood Elves from the Greenskins up to this point. Hagbane Tip Riders just riding around, providing some assistance with their bows, doing a nice little bit of damage. And these Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips are actually moving over to rear charge the Orc Boar Boys, which is an interesting choice. They do definitely want to assist the Glade Riders over here. Orc Boys are pretty juicy. They've got good armor, which is kind of swinging this fight over here. Their weapon strength isn't amazing, but it's definitely better than the Glade Riders as well. So, very strong cavalry pieces that the Greenskins have. And Glade Riders struggling a little bit to get through all of the Greenskin forces there. They do manage to break their opponents here, and another Arachnarok Flinger shot, landing and hitting the Glade Guard here, killing 10 models, man, and just taking a tremendous amount of HP off of these guys. Doesn't look like there's a caster for the Wood Elves up to this point. I do believe I saw one in the army as I was loading this in, though, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I would definitely be bringing one out now for Darth Taco, because you can just drop Earthbloods and heal up all your forces here. Orion getting very aggressive, looking to get into the back line here, it looks like. Has used a Hawk's Talon. I'm not 100% sure where. Arachnarok Spider is taking a little bit of damage. Maybe a little bit of poke from Orion, and he does use his Hounds spellcast, doing a nice bit of damage here. Hounds of Orion, very strong. Hawk's Talon, another very strong ability. Orion's pretty awesome. He can definitely do some good damage, but he's in the middle of these bow units right now. The bows are really messing him up right now, getting a lot of very good value shooting in on this guy. And he is throwing at the Arachnarok Spider right now, doing a little bit of poke. Taking about 1,000 HP off of this thing up to this point. Running out of ammo already, though. You know, Orion doesn't have a tremendous amount of ammo on his 360 shooting, and I feel like maybe that would be a nice little buff to give him. It's not like it does amazing damage to begin with. And Orion is one of those lords who gets very good value, but he has a little bit of trouble providing value across the battlefield. Wall goes down, and Orion is getting attacked by a lot right now. We've got Broken Tusk Mob coming in. Gorbat's hanging out on top of him with the Black Orc Big Boss, and just beating this guy down right now. And important to note that Rabble Rouse is on the table for the Big Boss, so no Terror Route's going to be coming in from Orion right now. The Wood Elves are down in value a tremendous amount right now, mostly due to Orion getting as beat up as he is. He's down to 9 HP, and he actually goes down here, being killed by Gorbat and the Black Orc Big Boss. Orion did get a good Hawk's Talon off that really dumpstered these poor Broken Tusk Mob right now. Getting some good value there. Wild Hunches of Kurnus screaming in, also helping to break this position up. But really good collapse here from the Greenskins. Orc Boar Boys coming in, but Christmas Cav kind of skirt away through their Eternal Guard. A really nice micro play from the Wood Elves. Arachnarok Flinger just continuing to do tremendous amounts of damage to the Glade Guard, who have traded pretty nicely up to this point, doing a good bit of damage. Arachnarok Flinger, how much value does it have? 1,000 value already, and it's got plenty of ammo left. An Arrow of Kurnus going down, but not doing a lot of damage to the Flinger. Orc Shaman has gotten beat up, looks like fighting on top of Eternal Guard maybe, also getting shot at by the Waystalker. The Arrow of Kurnus probably would have been better used finishing off this Orc Shaman to get the, not the healing, but the spellcasting offline for the Greenskins. Enigmas of Girand coming out. Wild Hunches of Kurnus retreating a little bit. They've got 41 models, and a decent amount of HP left. Does look like the Greenskins have secured the number 3, holding it very securely. Wood Elves holding on to the other 2 objectives, though. We do have a big collapse going down on these Dryads out here. Dryads pushing to get after the Orc Error Boys, but not quite able to get there before getting run down by these Squig Herds and Orc Boar Boys, who are just absolutely rolling over these guys right now, taking tremendous amounts of damage. Gonna be routing off the field here very soon. Flappa's coming in. Flappa's looking to get after these Eternal Guard. Eternal Guard could brace here and save themselves a lot of damage, but just get absolutely run over by these Flappas. But the Enigmas of Girand are here. Looks like they're going to be peeling for the Eternal Guard. Maybe going to be able to save these guys. And Squig Herds and Boar Boys turning their attention around now to the Enigmas, who are definitely going to be taking a decent chunk of damage here, although most of these units are at a significant disadvantage because they are large targets. Zote's a very good answer to large targets. Flesh to Stone also going down, one of the bound abilities for the Enigmas, and getting a nice boost to their survivability here. Flinger actually does a little bit of friendly fire there, it looks like, and Enigma's hanging in and doing big damage to all of these units. Boar Boys routing, Squig Herds Rampage, probably going to be going down to the Enigmas here. Gorbad is in here helping out the Squigs, though, giving them the boost to their stats from the Great Leader, which is always a really good situation. A collapse on the rear from the Glade Riders, actually helping out a little bit, getting some good damage there. Looks like a Brain Burst going down from the Orc Shaman. Just popping some damage onto the Eternal Guard and Dryads, but getting collapsed on by the remaining Bow Riders, who are out of ammo, but definitely have a little bit of an opportunity to maybe finish off the Spellcaster here. Where is the healing from the Wood Elves? Maybe you actually don't have one, but looking a little scary right now for both sides. Potentially game-clinching play if the Greenskins lose their Lord here, and the Wood Elves could resummon Orion. They have a ton of supplies here. Do opt for some Glade Guard to come in. Definitely kind of needing them. They're very thin on the infantry on the points, but by that same token, Greenskins looking pretty tattered as well. They do have some Boar Boy Biggins, some nasty Skulkers, Orc Boy Spears coming in, a few remaining Arrow Boys looking to get some damage. Another tattered one back here, getting unsummoned though, getting some supplies back in the bank, which is going to be really nice for Toad Killer Dog. We'll keep an eye on that, and the Enigmas of Girand doing some good damage, but the Wild Hunters of Kurnus actually get terrified and do rout away from this position. And in the midst of all of this, you know, the Enigmas, as good as they are in combat, I don't know if they're going to have enough juice in the tank left to be able to kill the Spider here. Even if they do kill Gorbad, it is going to have a decent bit of leadership in the tank left. Gorbad routing now. Christmas Cav looking to collapse on top of the Arachnarok Flinger here. Definitely going to get some good damage off, but the Enigmas stop chasing Gorbad here. Orc Boy Spears are moving up. Dryads looking to intercept them. Really nice micro from our Wood Elf player, who's definitely going to need to win this combat here pretty decisively in order to take this, but the Enigmas get side-charged by the Broken Tusk Mob. The Broken Tusk Mob is going to be able to beat the hell out of these Enigmas here, who are very tattered. Don't have the regrowth. They must have already used it on themselves. Looking a little bit barren are the Wood Elves, mostly because they did summon Orion out. Did not win the big blob fight the way that they really needed to. Orion looking to get after Gorbad. That's going to have to be the play here in order to win this potentially. Arachnarok Flinger with 2200 value. Broken Tusk Mob cleaning up the Enigmas and getting after these Blade Guard who are just going to get flattened here by all of these very powerful combat units. Arachnarok Flinger terrifying them and then being followed up on by the Broken Tusk Mob who have 1400 value already. Running over these Glade Guard, going to be able to clean up this unit, just chunking HP out of these guys. Very unfortunate for the Wood Elves. Black Orc Big Boss beating down the Waystalker. Really nice play here. Getting this very expensive unit to pay for itself, as well as being able to rely on him to provide the Brass Cleaver buffs and Rabble Rouse, doing some good work there. Hawk's Talon goes down, helping out in this fight with the Glade Riders and the Orc Warboy Biggins here. Biggins are being routed off. There are some Dryads. Orion is also here. Orion might be able to carry this game into the late game. Glade Riders being very aggressive, chasing down the cavalry, but now it looks like they found Gorbad hiding in the trees here. Getting after him, maybe going to be able to kill him potentially. That would be a big, big win for the Wood Elves, who desperately need some momentum here. Very, very heavily behind at this stage of the game. Hawk's Talons and Hounds of Orion both would be really useful here, although Hawk's Talons on cooldown, I would imagine. Hopefully a Hounds of Orion can come out. That would be what the Wood Elves really need here. They have stopped up most of the cap weight, but they are slowly losing the cap race here to the Greenskins. God, they really need to hang on to this objective. It's very tight on the tickets right now. And in terms of value, it's also really close here. It's been a very good scrap up to this point. But Orion having died and been resummoned, he is like a 2,000 gold lord. He's got most of his abilities here, so I believe he's like 2,400 even. Incredibly expensive, and to lose him the way that Darth Taco did, not really getting any use out of Cloak of Aisha, which is a pretty good heal under 25%. Also gives him some damage resistance. He just couldn't survive fighting against all of the SCs that were hounding him. And now we've got another bad situation for Orion. Fighting an Arachnarok Flinger or a Black Orc Big Boss in isolation wouldn't be a bad fight for him, but he is surrounded by spears, he's surrounded by the squigs, and he's got both of those SCs hounding after him. Glade Rider's going to be going down here to the remainder of the Broken Tusk Mob with 1,800 value on those guys. Brutal, brutal damage that they've been doing to the Wood Elf Cavalry here in the late game. And the Greenskins look to be in a very dominant position now. Wood Elves really not able to get good value from their missile line, mostly thanks to the Flinger, who really did a number on the Glade Guard position. We had triple Glade Guard coming out in the opening. Oh, and Wild Hunters of Kurnus come in, trying to get some good damage in here, but just get run over by the Orc Boarboy Biggins, and just absolutely iced here in at the end of the game to close it out for the Greenskins, I would say. And we can just fast forward through the rest of this. The Swamp Thing's moving up. Orion barely hanging on. Not going to be able to carry this. And despite having Terror, Black Orc Big Boss with the Rabble Rouse, keeping all of these units nice and buffed up on the leadership front, and definitely helping out the Greenskins a tremendous amount there. Not losing anything to any of those Terror routes because Orion is on the field is kind of a big deal, honestly. Greenskins tend to struggle when they're going up against terror-causing entities, and I don't know if Toadkiller Dog was aware that Darth Taco would be trying to bring Orion or not, but being able to have this unit come out and have such good battlefield presence and provide extra leadership for all of your forces, ending up playing a big part of that win there, I think, for the Greenskins, because they were pretty haggard there in the mid-game, and it was on a razor's edge of who was going to be able to rally up enough units onto the points to be able to put their opponent on the back foot there. The Greenskins with their cheap options, definitely able to make that happen, and really good micro on the Broken Tusk Mob, who doubled up on their value just about, and had a little bit of juice there at the end still, even. Definitely the game-winning plays there. Having said everything I said about Orion, he got 2,900 value, did pretty well that second go-around, but losing him to Gorbad and the Black Orc Big Boss in the mid-game there was definitely the moment that really put the Wood Elves in a very negative game position, and just didn't give them an opportunity to develop anything substantial out onto the field to be able to lock down any objectives. They were doing pretty well on the points, but in that late game, without any infantry to anchor on, and not really having enough mobility to answer the very efficient Black Orc Biggins, or the Orc Boy Biggins, was kind of the death knell for the Wood Elves there. And there was a healer. This healer would have been really nice to come in and save Orion. Good regrowth probably would have been enough to keep him alive, but not so. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this one, and I'll catch y'all around another day. So, GG's, peace, take care.